Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to kick off and start. Good afternoon. It's Friday. It's not raining. It's a nice day. And I am here today to give you the theme announcement for the Northwest VA Conference 2023. So it's been a strange couple of years, obviously, as we know, and also for the conference, where we've had, since 2020, we've had one live event and two online events. One in 2020, that was absolutely massive, and really, really loved that event. It was brilliant. We had VAs from all across the country, and all across the country, all across the world. I think we had a couple of international VAs as well, which was amazing. And it was brilliant that in that time, because we were only a couple of months into lockdown, so it was brilliant in that time to get everybody together. We had planned on a theme of making a big impact for that year, which we had to kind of make a big impact. And I think we did, I think that we did make a big impact as VAs in 2020 because there was a lot of clients, especially I found, and I'm going to try to see how I get interactivity on here as well and see if anybody's asking any questions. Say hello if you are here. Say hello, and I will obviously say hello back. Yeah, so in 2020, I do think that we made a big impact as VAs because, as I said, there was a lot of clients that had to move away from that office corporate structure and move into being totally online for a lot of people. And we had to educate them, share with them information about how to bring all their processes together, how to get their staff together, how to keep, for those staff that were working, how to keep them productive. So I think that we did make a big impact still in 2020. 2021 saw us going back in a live event, which was brilliant, pretty stressful. It was the 2 days before my daughter's wedding, so it was a pretty stressful event, but it was still brilliant, and it was wonderful to get everybody back in the room. And I know that those attending had a fantastic time. So thanks for those of you that braved the kind of COVID restrictions and the getting back on public transport and coming along. Thank you for that. This year, earlier, we had another online event for numerous reasons, really, and we centered that about resilience. We were coming out of that big change. We needed some resilience back in ourselves, I think, and we needed some resilience in our businesses as well, of how to kind of get back set up, and getting back out there, doing a lot of oh, sorry, I'm just messing about with this now and I've completely lost where I am on the screen. There we go. Yeah, so we had to be resilient again in our business, and we had to really, really kind of knuckle down and find some mental health positivity, and learn again how to be strong in ourselves. It was a difficult time, so that was great. And again, thanks to those of you that came on that. Thanks to the fantastic speakers that were a part of that, and the expert panel, VA panel, that we had as well. So brings us to this year, or next year rather, and what do we want to be looking at, and what do we want to be doing? Now, recently, I have been thinking about not kind of having a backup plan for the business, but there's been lots of talk about changes for next year. Obviously, we're in a cost of living crisis. We've got a fuel crisis. We've got some crazy goings on in the government, which, can I just say and ask, does anybody know in any business, in any corporate business, you would get the moving around of people and people resigning and then deciding that they wanted to have that job again and come back to it? It just blows my mind. I think it's just a little bit crazy. So, thinking about all the changes that we are currently going through and things that we could potentially be experienced next year, we've heard all kinds of things about recession and the extended cost of living crisis. So, as a VA and as a business owner, how do we protect ourselves to make sure that we are going to again come through what we went through in 2020? How do we keep battling on, and what do we put in place to make sure that we continue growing and running successful, fantastic VA businesses and other businesses, to say that, because I think we might have a couple of attendees this time, maybe speakers from previous events that want to come along. And I think this would help any business, to be honest with you. So, drum roll. The theme for the 2023 Northwest VA Conference is going to be hashtag future proof. And that comes from exactly what I've just spoke about, future proofing our business against anything that might be thrown at us, any curveballs, any changes, any disruption. How do we make sure that we can continue to grow, benefit, flourish, give advice and support our clients, and just continue with the fantastic work that we've been doing over the last couple of years, and probably further back from that, from previous. Oh, Naomi's popped that in there. Hashtag future proof. Yeah, and to be honest with you, went back a little bit to me of at the very end of 2020, very end of 2021, could have probably been in the best financial position that my business has been in for the last 10 and a half years. But what I found at the start of 2022 was that I had three main clients that were probably, I don't know, maybe 50% of my income, all changed and ended for different reasons. One client decided that they wanted, now they had an idea of what support they needed and they wanted to employ somebody. Another client just had a big project naturally come to an end. And I'm a great believer in making sure that the right job is being done by the right person for my clients. And that goes down to associates as well. So if I feel that an associate has worked with a client of mine for a long period of time and the relationship would be better grown by them both working directly together, then I'll make that decision and I'll do that. Having said that, those three clients had a major, losing those three clients had a major impact on my finances. And what I found was I hadn't future-proofed the business and I hadn't given myself any backup. And I was kind of starting, felt like I was starting again, and that I was having to sell myself again and promote myself again and get myself back out there. Because not only had that happened, I'd had 2 years of networking, not massively going out and putting myself forward. I'd had some mental health problems of my own. I'd gone through major surgery. Everything just kind of escalated and blew up. So I thought, if I've been working for 10 years and something like that can massively affect me, both mentally, in my business, in my personal life, then it's going to affect everybody. So I really wanted to pull something together to make sure that, how do we do that? So we've pulled together a group of speakers that I know will massively help everybody to kind of just do a little bit of, not soul searching and digging, but really, and not definitely getting back to basics, because I know that we are all doing amazing jobs. But sometimes you just have to take a little look back and think, right, well, if that did happen to me, what would I actually do? And would it take me 2, 3, 4 months to build that income back up, 12 months even, to build that income back up and get myself back out there? So that's really what I want to achieve from next year, that I want everybody to be able to go away with thinking, right, I've got a bit of a plan. And I understand maybe what I might need to put in place. I need to consider certain things. We're all guilty, and it's a positive guilty, but we're all guilty of getting content with the clients that we've got. getting into the work that we're doing, and sometimes our own marketing and pushing ourselves out there can be difficult because it's maybe challenging. It's not our comfort zone as a naturally supportive industry. It's not something that we probably really consider and really think I do have to do with it. I do have to do it, and I do have to really put myself out there. So I want us to kind of go away with a little bit of a plan of what does that look like? What else can I offer? How can I offer that? How do I back myself up? What do I put in place to make sure that I am protecting myself and the business should anything change, and should we get any more disruptions or get any big curveballs that are going to have even a small or a large impact on our business. We know how amazing we are. We know how much we support our clients. We know how much they value us, and we know what a big impact we have on their business and making them be more successful in their own right. We should be taking that back on as well and making our own selves as successful as we want to be. And that doesn't always come down, excuse me, it doesn't always come down to money. It might just be the way that, however you define success in your business and yourself, if that is financial, if that is making sure that you have time for your friends or your family, making sure that you take the time off that you need just to give to you and make sure you're the best version of yourself, because that's all we need to be, is the best version of ourselves to support everybody else. So that's what it's going to be. For those of you that have not been before, the conference is run over a Thursday afternoon and a Friday, and we normally aim to kick off at about 12:30 on 12 or 12:30 on the Thursday, and we'll have two interactive workshops there, and we normally aim to finish about 5 o'clock. On the Thursday evening, we have a fantastic informal dinner where everybody gets together. Most people do stay over, or they're local enough and they might come back for that. But it's really informal, and it is just about getting to know each other a little bit more. One of the main things for me about us all getting together is that there is no competition. I will, and for those that you know me, I will share everything and anything about how I've run my business previously and the kind of things that I do. So it's all about being collaborative and just getting along with each other, having a laugh over some food and some drink, and it's really, really informal. So if you are going to come along, I suggest it's a definite thing for you to do. The Friday then we kick off with about registration about 9 o'clock, and we would normally aim to finish about 3:30. The event's in Warrington. Traffic in Warrington is not the best of anybody's friends, to be honest with you, on a Friday afternoon. So we try to get you away at a reasonable time so you might miss the rush hour. And I appreciate that it's a massive part of your business being able to come away for a day and a half. Obviously, laptops are a must, phones are a must. We ask everybody to share as much on social media, so we don't ask you to put anything away. It's a perfect opportunity to buy some new stationery, new highlighters, new pens, new post-its, a gorgeous new notebook. So it's a Thursday afternoon, and it's the 15th, Thursday the 15th of June and Friday the 16th of June at the Village Hotel in Warrington. The Village Hotel, obviously it's a hotel, so you can stay over at the Village, literally just in the same little industrial development that the Village is on. You can see the other hotel that's on the other side. It's called the Waterside. But there's details. I'm going to actually put them on the website because I don't think they're on there, but the details of the Village Hotel are. So I recommend to book early. If you're going to stay over, then book early. If you book, when you book on, you should get a nice little download, a little slide deck just with some top 10 tips of how to get yourself ready for the conference and how to prepare for it. And one of those is booking on early. And the other one is obviously keep an eye out on travel. Obviously the trains are a nightmare at the moment. So keep an eye on that. But I think that's I've not got any other questions. If anybody else has got any other questions, now is the time. If you got any questions about the theme, about what we should be covering. As I said, we've got fantastic speakers, and I think at the moment we've got 5. speakers, and we may push to 6, thinking about timings for the Friday, but we only have two. We only have two speakers on the Thursday afternoon because they are more lengthy workshops. And then on the Friday, we normally have 3, possibly 4 speakers on the Friday. But we've got the first one to announce next week. So watch this space. If you do book on, you get updates before anybody else. So everybody that's booked on this already will have received an email today letting you know what the theme is. So you got that before anybody else. That's about it for me, really. That's really all I wanted to share. I've not got any other comments and no other questions. So I'm going to kind of leave you there for Friday afternoon. I'm sure it's half term, isn't it? So half of you might not even see this by then. But it's going to be over on our YouTube channel this afternoon. So I'll post a link underneath this live. I'll post a link in there and then you can go over and watch it at your delight. But I'll also be issuing this and the link on an email later on this afternoon. So have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget, we are #futureproof, helping you to make sure that you've got everything in place should you need it for any curveballs or anything that happens in the future in your business. But honestly, have a fantastic weekend and I'll be back on here with you very soon. Take care.